Welcome to the Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast by Business English with Christina. Joining the club is a great way for you to improve your fluency and confidence in English, meet people from all over the world, and have fun while talking about real-world topics. We hold 1-hour conversations on Zoom 6 times a week, Monday to Friday. And our podcast listeners receive a 50% discount on the first month of membership with the discount code FFCC50. Are you looking to improve your English speaking ability? Come and join us today. Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast. What inspires you to join a community? And then why do you stay? Hey everyone, a quick special announcement before we get into today's topic. If you want to send us an email with any English-related questions, ideas for topics, or any feedback, we now have a dedicated email address for podcast listeners. Send us an email at podcast@ChristinaRubafate.com with your questions, comments, and suggestions. We'd love to hear from you, and we might even read and answer your question on a future podcast. Now, on with the show. Hey everybody, Christina here with the Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast. I hope that you're having a lovely month of January, and I am here with Matthew. And Matthew, how are you doing?
Yeah, doing really good today. Thank you. How about you?
Yeah, doing well, doing well. I had my sports session this morning, so feeling good after that. And it was a sports session that I do with a friend of mine and a coach. So maybe that kind of helps us to transition into the topic today of, why do you join a community and why do you stay? I could say that for that, like I joined because I wanted to be more regular with my sports, and I wanted to do it with someone who we're not even at the same level, but we have like the sort of same approach of we're not here to compete. We are not here to like win any prizes. We're here to be regular, to do it together, to enjoy it and to support each other. So yeah. And why have we done it? I think we've done like 100 and something sessions together now. We counted the other day. And why do we stay? Well, because we enjoy it and we see results and it helps us. So yeah. I don't know. What about you? I don't know if you've joined any communities in the past, but
Sure, of course. Yeah. I think there's a few excuse me. I think there's a few different reasons that we join communities, right? One might be like you said, for accountability, right? We want to get better, we want to improve, and by doing things with other people, that helps to hold us accountable. Okay, every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, I'm doing this, and you're less likely to skip it, right? If you are doing it with a friend or a group of people. So that's one good reason, right? Something else is just like it's something that's either fun, like you said, or interesting. And interesting could be, it's something we want to learn more about or improve upon, or something that, I don't know, we're like, that's something I want to do. And maybe you've been saying it for years and years and years, and you're finally like, you know what? I need some motivation to do this. And so I think, it's also motivating to join a group. And again, I guess that ties back to accountability. And then I think, it's kind of human nature. We are social creatures, right? We like to be around other people, and that's for a variety of reasons. I mean, I guess most of it is purely biological, but there's reasons for that, and that, like, people tend to do things better when they're with other people. You get help and support, and you can bounce ideas or make it a competition, or there's ways that doing things with a group of people makes it better for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you talked about like sort of biological reasons. I mean, if we just go back like into the past, like prehistoric times, or even not even prehistoric times, if we look at like in American history, the expansion westward and like the pioneers going out, it was like if you were alone, like you literally had less of a chance of surviving than if you were with other people, because, if you got sick or if you had an accident, they could help you. And then in return, it's sort of like if they got sick or had an accident or a problem, of course you would help them. So I think if we go deep back into like the like the biological reasons, it's literally like for survival. I think nowadays, if people are on like online communities or things like that, they're not in danger of, being eaten by a lion or something like that. But I don't know. I feel like maybe you're not in danger of being eaten by a lion, but maybe you are in danger of, your business not succeeding, or, you struggle with some problems or something like that. And if you're trying to do it all alone, that's going to be a lot harder than if you've got people that are like-minded, like they know what you do, they understand it. I think it's kind of goes
Yeah,
back to that
absolutely.
reason, but it carries over into modern times. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, survival of the fittest, and yeah, like you mentioned, like, okay, before maybe we would die, but in today's society, perhaps you'll get passed by. If you are not advancing and adapting and improving, then, you become sort of archaic.
Mm,
And that can happen very quickly in today's society,
mm,
which is, I don't know, but that's also very scary, right?
yeah.
So yeah, and I think, most of all, it's just fun, right? I
Mm,
think we get enjoyment being around other people, and like,
mm,
specifically talking about the Faster
mm,
Fluency Conversation Club for like English learners.
mm,
We did feedback week last month,
mm-hmm,
and like a lot of the feedback we got for people who join is just like, yeah, I get to meet people from all over the world. It feels like a family. It feels like a
mm,
community. I get to learn about different cultures. We all are here for the same goal of
mm,
improving our English. So, we join groups or communities or tribes because of
mm,
a shared interest
right.
that we all have, some set of beliefs or the same goal. And yeah, I think that's what makes, and then on top of it, people said, oh yeah, it's so fun. I don't
Yeah.
need to worry about making mistakes. People feel
Mm,
safe. They're
yeah.
not going to get eaten, of course,
Right.
but they're, people in FFCC, they're not afraid to make mistakes because it's a community. Everybody's there to help each other and support each other.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's part of, yeah, it's a big part of FFCC that we hear a lot is, they say there's no judgment. The people help each other, et cetera. And I think when you talked about tribes, I think there is that element of you're not there to judge the other person. You're not there to try to be the best of the group. You're there to enjoy it and to get something from it, but also to give something back
Hmm.
to the group. And yeah, I think that's no, it's a very interesting concept. And so when you talked about, you mentioned just before we started recording the book by Seth Godin, Tribes, which we're going to give some links to that resource for everyone listening to the podcast, to go and maybe check that out, because it is a very interesting book about, the power of community and why people join and then why they stay also. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Seth Godin. So yeah, we can put a link. He's got a great TED Talk. He's written several books.
Mm,
And he's a teacher by nature,
yeah.
as well. Really, really interesting person. And yeah, actually he's also from my hometown. He's from Buffalo, New
Oh,
York.
right. Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is quite cool. But
That
yeah,
is
super
cool.
interesting person. Yeah. And also great for business if you're in like
Yeah.
marketing or looking for
Mm,
ideas for how to grow your business. He's like business genius.
awesome.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. So we'll link to all of that. And then if you're listening to the podcast and you want to go explore that concept further, then you will have a resource that we like and we recommend. Okay. Thank you, Matthew. Have a good one and
you're
talk to you
welcome.
soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Bye.
Thank you for listening this week. We are always trying new ways to improve our podcast, and we have just set up an email for our listeners to interact with us more. If you have any English-related questions, topic ideas, or any feedback, we'd love to hear from you. Please send your emails to podcast@ChristinaRubafe.com. and you can find the email address in the show notes. We also offer the transcript of this episode for free, so you can read after or while listening. And when you become a member of the Faster Fluency Conversation Club, you also get exercises on grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation each week. So you'll be more directly connected to the topic of conversation each week, and you'll be able to practice confidently. If you'd like to join the club, the link for more details is in the show notes for this podcast, and we hope to see you in the Faster Fluency Conversation Club.